Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into the 1997 film Jackie Brown, directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, it's a really interesting one in his filmography.
Definitely. We've got a whole bunch of sources here: Wikipedia stuff, Reddit threads, reviews, production notes, you name it.
A real mix.
Our mission basically is to get under the skin of this adaptation of Elmore Leonard's Rum Punch. Why does it feel so different? Why is it still talked about, sometimes quite debated, right?
Absolutely. And these sources, they give us a great way to look at it from, well, pretty much all angles. We can talk plot, casting, production decisions, how people reacted.
Critics versus audiences, maybe.
Exactly. It's a chance to figure out what makes Jackie Brown tick.
Okay, so let's start with the story itself. Just a quick refresher for everyone. The film, it centers on Jackie Brown. She's a flight attendant.
Right. And she's kind of moonlighting, smuggling cash for Ordell Robbie, who's this gun runner.
And things go sideways pretty fast for her.
They really do. One of Ordell's other guys gets picked up, and suddenly Jackie's right in the middle of it. ATF, Ordell, all these other sort of sketchy characters.
And what's cool is watching how she handles it all.
Yeah, she's smart, resourceful.
Then you've got Max Cherry, the bail bondsman Ordell hires.
And that's where the double crosses really start. And this whole plan to steal $500,000 comes together.
Key bits are like her initial arrest, how she negotiates with Ordell, which is tense.
Super tense. And then that whole shopping mall sequence, the money swap.
That's a big one.
It's fascinating how it all layers up. You know, everyone's got their own angle. The initial plan is just moving the money, like $550,000.
But Jackie sees an opportunity.
Exactly. She decides to play everyone and take it for herself, bringing Max Cherry into it, sort of.
Which makes it way more complex than just a simple crime flick.
Totally. And it's not like it goes smoothly at all.
No way. You've got Ordell's crew, Louis Gara, played by De Niro, and Bridget Fonda as Melanie. They just add more chaos.
Volatile is a good word for Louis. And Melanie, she's just unpredictable.
That mall sequence, again, showing it from different viewpoints, and then Louis just shooting Melanie.
Wow. Yeah, it really shows how unstable everything is, how close to the edge they all are.
And that's kind of what leads to Louis getting killed, and eventually Ordell, too.
Right. And Jackie, she outsmarts them all, gets away with the cash.
But Max doesn't go with her to Madrid in the end.
No, he makes that choice. It's a poignant moment.
Okay, let's talk cast. Because, wow, Pam Grier as Jackie Brown, just iconic.
Absolutely. And you got to remember, this was her first big lead role in years.
Yeah. What do you think made her performance so powerful?
Well, I think she brought this incredible depth, a kind of world weariness maybe, drawing on her history with those 70s blaxploitation films.
Alfie, Foxy Brown.
Exactly. She's vulnerable, but also incredibly strong. You're just rooting for her the whole time. It wasn't just a comeback, it felt like a reassertion.
Totally agree. And then Samuel L. Jackson as Ordell Robbie. A lot of people say this is one of his best villain roles ever.
Oh, for sure. He's charming, but menacing underneath.
Yeah.
You just never know what Ordell's thinking or what he'll do next.
How does it stack up against his other Tarantino roles, do you think? Jules Winfield, obviously.
It's right up there. Ordell is so specific. He seems laid back, articulate even, but then there's this ice-cold ruthlessness just below the surface. Jackson nails that completely. It's captivating, but scary.
It really is. And Robert Forster as Max Cherry. Can't forget him.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Like Grier, this was a huge role for him after some time away from the spotlight.
And he got the Oscar nomination for it. So well-deserved.
Totally. His performance is so subtle, so nuanced, and the chemistry he has with Pam Grier.
Feels real, doesn't it?
Yeah, completely authentic. Their whole relationship anchors the movie emotionally. It's like mature, built on understanding each other, talking about getting older. It's different from what you usually see in crime films.
It shows Tarantino can do those quieter character moments, too.
For sure.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. Production stuff. Apparently, Tarantino looked at other Elmore Leonard books first.
Yeah, that's what the notes say. He'd just done Pulp Fiction, huge success, right?
Yeah.
Then he revisited Rum Punch and apparently just fell for it again. Like this characters, the slower pace maybe.
And it's still the only movie he's directed based on someone else's book.
Which says something, right? He must have really connected with this story specifically.
And he changed things. Jackie's race, her name. How did Leonard feel about that?
You didn't think maybe the author would be protective, but no. Leonard was apparently thrilled. Called the script maybe the best he'd ever read and the best adaptation of his work.
Wow, that's incredible praise.
Coming from Elmore Leonard, yeah. High praise indeed.
And the film leans into that whole blaxploitation vibe from the 70s.
Oh, definitely. With Pam Grier starring, how could it not?
The posters, the opening titles.
Yeah, they deliberately evoke that style. Plus, using Roy Ayers' music from Coffee, it creates that link.
But Tarantino said it's not strictly a blaxploitation film itself.
Right. It's influenced by them, uses elements, but tells its own, maybe more nuanced story. It's paying homage, definitely acknowledging Grier's history.
That opening shot, too, at the airport. Grier on the moving walkway.
Total nod to The Graduate.
But the music,
Yeah.
Bobby Womack's Across 110th Street, completely changes the mood.
It's brilliant, isn't it? The visual says one thing, maybe youthful confusion like in The Graduate, but the music brings this gritty, soulful, experienced vibe, tells you right away this isn't going to be that kind of story.
Sets the tone perfectly. And some casting what-ifs. Sylvester Stallone turned down Louis Garra.
Apparently so.
Oh.
And they considered Paul Newman Gene Hackman for Max Cherry. Imagine that.
Wild. Oh, and the Michael Keaton thing. Playing Ray Nicolette in this and in Out of Sight.
Another Leonard adaptation.
And Tarantino let them use the character. Miramax didn't charge Universal. Kind of a cool crossover.
Show some respect there, maybe, for adapting Leonard's world. So, okay, how did people actually receive the film? Critics versus audiences again.
Critics mostly loved it, right? Rotten Tomatoes has it at, like, 88%. Praising Grier, the dialogue.
Metacritic agrees, generally favorable, and Roger Ebert gave it 4 stars. Like the real founding dialogue, the hidden strategy,
Mark Kermode even says it's his favorite Tarantino film.
which is saying something.
Yeah.
But the audience score, the cinema score, was just a B.
Yeah, that's interesting. AB isn't terrible, but it suggests maybe audiences weren't quite as blown away as the critics.
And the Reddit threads really show that split, don't they?
Totally. You've got some fans saying it's his masterpiece. Best dialogue, love the romance, the different feel.
And others, less impressed.
Yeah, some found it slow, disappointing after Pulp Fiction, wanted more action, maybe a bigger climax. That seems to be a common point.
So expectations were maybe a bit skewed coming off Pulp Fiction. People expected more of the same, stylistically.
Seems likely. Jackie Brown is much more deliberately paced, more about the characters simmering, you know.
Right. Some Redditors call it underrated, his most mature film. Others just found it boring.
It really does feel different from his other stuff. Less flashy, maybe.
Yeah, less overtly stylized, for sure. More grounded, in a way.
No, we should also touch on the controversy around the language, the use of the N-word.
Right. It's used, what, 38 times? That definitely caused a stir. Spike Lee was pretty vocal about it.
Questioning if it was necessary, the impact of a white director using it so much.
And Tarantino defended it, saying it was about confronting the word's power, being true to the characters and context.
But that didn't sit right with everyone. Some felt it was excessive or maybe desensitizing, regardless of intent.
It's a really complex issue. Artistic freedom versus impact and representation. Still debated today with this film.
Yeah, but despite that, the film did get recognition. Forster's Oscar nomination.
It's a huge deal for him.
Yeah.
And Golden Globe nominations for Grier and Jackson.
Jackson won Best Actor at the Berlin Film Festival, too. Silver Bear.
And Empire magazine put it on their 500 greatest movies list eventually. So it found its place.
Okay, let's talk soundtrack.
Uh-huh.
Because the Jackie Brown soundtrack is just killer.
Oh, it's fantastic. A perfect blend of soul, funk, fits the mood perfectly.
Lots of tracks from that Blaxploitation era, right? Bobby Womack's Across 110th Street is basically a theme song, opens and closes the movie.
And the Delphonics, Bill Withers, Pam Grier even has a track on there. It's not just background music, it's like woven into the film's DNA.
And using Roy Ayers' score from Coffee again, that direct link.
It's so well curated. The Reddit threads we saw, everyone raves about the soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's a huge part of the film's appeal, gives it that soulful vibe.
Definitely a highlight. It really enhances everything, the mood, the characters, stands alone as a great album too.
Clearly. It tells its own story almost.
So when we put it all together,
Yeah.
What are the big themes? What are people taking away from Jackie Brown?
I think mature is a word that comes up a lot. Introspective, maybe. It
Mm.
really digs into the characters of their relationships, especially Jackie and Max.
That connection between them feels so central, right? And different for Tarantino.
Yeah, those conversations they have about getting older, where they are in life, they feel very real, very honest. Kind of anchors the whole thing.
It adds this layer of realism, even with the crime plot swirling around. Provides, I don't know, a bit of quiet hope.
Yeah, I think so. And there's that theme of aging, too, isn't there? A lot of the
Mm.
characters feel a bit past their prime for this kind of life.
Yeah.
Max, Jackie, even Ordell and Louis in some ways.
That's true. It feels more character-driven overall, less about the big set pieces, more about the dialogue, the psychology, the small moments between people.
Exactly. The tension comes from the interactions as much as the action.
And thinking about its life after cinemas,
Hmm.
home media, legacy,
It's had plenty of releases, DVDs, Blu-rays, special editions with extras, Tarantino intros,
an interesting technical note, shot in 1.85:1 aspect ratio.
which is a bit less wide than Tarantino usually goes for, like with Pulp Fiction's 2.35.1.
Might contribute to the more intimate, character-focused feeling.
Could be, yeah. And Lionsgate picked up the rights recently, put out a 4K remaster just last year, was it?
Yeah, early 2025, the notes say, so there's still interest in keeping it looking great.
Its legacy seems kind of settled now as maybe an underrated gem, a unique spot in his work.
Yeah.
It definitely grew in estimation over time, I think.
So, wrapping up, Jackie Brown is clearly more than just another Tarantino crime movie.
Oh, yeah. It's so rich with character, nods to film history, that amazing soundtrack, and just a different pace, a different feel from him, more restrained.
It really makes you think about, expectations we have of directors adapting books and how powerful a character-focused story can be.
Definitely. This whole dive really highlights how unique Jackie Brown is.
Hmm.
And it leaves you wondering, right?
Wondering what?
Well, given this more mature, character-deep approach,
Hmm.
was this a road Tarantino could have explored more? How might his films look different if Jackie Brown had been, say, a massive mainstream hit right away?
Interesting question. And what other directors known for one style have kind of surprised everyone with something more low-key or character-based? Something for you, the listener, to maybe think about.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. This has got to be in my top 10 watches. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time on Crime Breach.